So I'm going to do a quick reflection on verse 22 and 23 in Surah Al-Baqarah because I was reading them and they blew my mind. And I kind of want to know if anyone else has the same thoughts. If you don't, I'm going to try and do like reflections on verses, like videos. And if you want to talk to me about them, that'd be really cool because I really like talking about these things. So I'm going to read to you the verses and then I'm kind of going to talk to you about what I thought about them, and hopefully you get something out of that, or you thought something different, and if you did, please share it with me. So the first verse, he says, "He who made for you the earth a bed and the sky a ceiling, and sent down from the sky rain, and brought forth thereby fruits as provision for you. So do not attribute to Allah equals while you know that there is nothing similar to him." And then in the verse 23, he says, "And if you are in doubt about what we have sent down upon our servants, then produce a surah like the like thereof, and call upon your witnesses other than Allah if you should be truthful." So in the first verse, Allah is basically telling you that He built the earth, and in the earth He built the sky, and the sky sends down rain, and the rain makes the fruit so that you can live, right? But then He tells you, if you don't believe it, if that proof is not enough for you that I am God, then just write a surah like that like what's in the Quran, and then try and call people to follow that surah, right? So the first question that I had was, why didn't Allah ask us to make an earth or a ceiling or rain or a fruit, right? Because when you're offering a challenge, when someone doesn't believe in you, or what's a better example? Like when you're in a competition with someone, and you have the right to pick the challenge, why wouldn't you want to pick the hardest challenge possible, right? Allah doesn't pick the hardest challenge possible. He doesn't tell you build an earth, build a ceiling, build a sky, have that sky bring down rain or fruits. He tells you to do something. This is like the miracle of these verses, right? I mean, to me, this is why I was just like, wow. He tells you to just write a chapter. Because Allah knows, God knows, you don't have the capability of building an earth. Well, like, do you? Ask yourself, can you build earth? No. I mean, if you can, then I think you would be in the times by now, but like, could you make a sky? No. Can that sky that you can't even create bring down rain? No. Could you make a fruit? Think about it like this. Could you actually, okay, I know that in science, people have been trying to clone things for like a really long time. So think of the things that they have cloned. Like I've heard that when you're in Houston, if you go to the Houston Museum of Natural Science, they'll tell you about the sheep that they're trying to clone, and like they're unsuccessful with it, right? So like we can't even reproduce an animal. Like we can't even make an animal of our own engineering, right? So Allah knows that, right? So when you're in a challenge with someone, wouldn't you want to give them the hardest challenge possible so that they could fail at that challenge? But no, God doesn't give you that challenge. He doesn't tell you build a human. He doesn't tell you build a seed and then put that seed in the ground and see if that could pop up fruit. He tells you, he gives you a challenge that you can do. Not you can do, but like a challenge that you have the capability of doing. Because you and I can write, or hopefully people, like hopefully, I don't know, I don't want to get into that, but people that we know, like when you think of yourself, you can write, I can write, right? So Allah's just telling you, write something, and then see if that thing could produce followers. And it's like, wow, this is like to me the mercy of Allah, because He could have told you to do something impossible, but He's even giving you the chance. He's giving you the chance to actually succeed. And isn't that like amazing that like if like for me, if I was competing against someone, I'd want them to lose, right? So I would try to sabotage them. But Allah doesn't even try to sabotage you. Like He just says, you can write, so do something with the abilities that you can do and try and like prove me wrong. And to me that's amazing, because it's like even when you're trying to prove Allah wrong, He still gives you the chance to do that. And I don't think people realize how miraculous that is, how it shows mercy But not only that, like when you think of, I guess, like people who are insecure, right? People who are insecure are constantly trying to prove you the antithesis to their insecurity, right? So like, let's say you're insecure about being, I mean, I just think of man, like I think of men. So like, let's say that you are you're insecure about whether or not you're manly, right? So you're constantly trying to prove whether you're manly, and that just shows your insecurity, right? But like Allah knows that He's God, so He doesn't have that insecurity. He knows He's the greatest. He knows He created the earth, the sky, the rain that comes from the sky. He knows He created fruits for me, so He doesn't need you to even prove to Him that you can do that. Like He knows. He knows what He created. And I think that's just so amazing. And that's why I think that these two verses are not only overlooked, but they should be reflected on more. Whenever you see, because Allah asks many times, He always gives you that challenge many times in the Quran. I think even in like chapter 6, verse 32, He does this. I'm not sure. I haven't checked, but like He does this many times in the Quran. So when you see it, reflect on it because it's obviously important. And like for me, it just wowed me. So maybe it'll wow you. So I really hope you enjoyed that reflection and it made you think. I hope you had a good day. Bye.